Alright, it is X Magica rank up gem time, and I have these three options right here. Now, of course, they are all defenders because I wanted to use this gem for like help in battlegrounds, and I think all three of these characters are perfect candidates. So let's go through each of them. Nick Fury is like the past, right? He was made in 2019, a pretty old champion, but he is still a mainstay in so many battlegrounds decks because he is still super annoying on defense, especially if the meta is in his favor. Now, I'm gonna pass on Nick Fury for now since I think he really wants to be ascended and I just cannot do that like right now. So yeah, Nick Fury, gonna have to pass for now on this guy, but then we have Bullseye here. And Bullseye is like the current annoyance. He is pretty dang difficult, and like without the right counter, he just destroys literally anyone because of the bleed damage, of the block damage. However, if you have the right counter, he is a bit too easy, I think. Like, Sunspot just wallops this guy in 25 seconds. I've done it before. It is honestly crazy. And I feel like a rank 5 one, just like not ascended either, probably just gonna get wallops like, you know, with Sunspot and like the other main counters, and at like rank 5 unascended won't pose that much of a threat given his stats are just pretty average, right? But then we have the champion that's going to go to rank 5 right here. This is the Serpent. Now, the Serpent is a different story because he is not the past or the present. He is the future of defense. And right there, my game crashed, which is phenomenal, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, the Serpent is like the future, right? He is the one that's gonna like, you know, guide my account to hopefully better things because yeah, this man is super annoying. And the best part about the Serpent is even if you have like the perfect counter, he still has like some crazy strong base stats. One of the highest health pools in the game, he has 60% critical penetration reduction, and yeah, he is just insanely tanky overall. And the first thing I did after ranking him up was go to my Battlegrounds deck and just slot him in. I took out Hawkeye, I think. You know, Hawkeye, super fun champion, but just not using him too much, kind of just filler there. And yeah, in goes the Serpent. And this feels good because I feel like my deck is just getting better and better every single week, and it's honestly making me a bit proud because I can actually like have a chance to push if I wanted to. But enough of that, let's go into some gameplay of the Serpent. So rank 5 Serpent right here, and he's fully ramped up. He has 3 Dread active on him, and he has, you know, class advantage, so this should be a very fun time, and spoiler alert, it is. Now, the Serpent, you know, it wasn't just for defense. This character is very cool, like very, very cool. The hammer is amazing, just an amazing design, like, you know, physical wise. Look how big he is, first of all, like that man is massive, and the hammer is like just as big. That's honestly so cool. And additionally, he looks like he is straight out of like a World of Warcraft game. Like, look at him, he has like the perfect fit for it, like the suit, the cape, the belt, the beard. Oh my gosh, it's like literally straight out of one of those games. And I think the Serpent's a pretty good investment as well right now because he doesn't need to be ascended since his base stats are already super good, and like once he's ascended, oh, he's just like an auto ban, to be honest, because yeah, he is going to be super frustrating to fight because he's going to have like over 300,000 health plus all that damage res. It's not going to be fun for anyone to fight this guy. And you know, I guess I'm kind of proud of this character too, or like how I got this character, because I had to manage a lot during his grind. So I was like, okay, I think it has to be this character because yeah, like I had to do a lot during his grind and I still got it done. So yeah, Serpent, he deserves it. He's a very good champion, really fun to play, and you know, while his damage output isn't the best in shorter fights, once we get going, yeah, the damage output is honestly kind of absurd. So check this out, we're doing like what, 12,000 light attacks, and he is just destroying this guy right now. We go back in, and yeah, just gonna bail the special attack here, which he throws in a bit. Yeah, this is so fun. There we go. Okay, now I drop my SP2, and look at this damage. It's gonna be amazing. Watch this. Here I drop it. No crit there, unfortunately, but we're doing some pretty nice energy damage, over 20,000 per hit. You'll love to see it. Then I dropped the SP1. That one's 13,000 per hit. Pretty good stuff there. And this matchup essentially feels over because we're just so ramped at this point. We have over 10 Furies. We are just building up so much damage output now. And yeah, we're kind of just chilling here. So I dropped the SP2 again, 20,000 non-crit, and then some 20,000 bursts of energy damage. Very, very good stuff. 22,000 mediums there as well. And yeah, this matchup is essentially over. Very, very fun fight. The Serpent, just crazy for long form content. And that was like, what, under 3 minutes for a rank 5 character? Not too shabby in the slightest. But now we have some cosmic lanes here. The damage output, of course, is modified big time because it is a cosmic node that like benefits cosmic characters. But I just want to show how good his true focus is, because unlike some other champions that have like true abilities, those abilities have durations. The Serpent doesn't have a duration on his true focus. It is a permanent effect. Like once you drop the first special one, it is just there for the entire fight. So yeah, it is a very, very good ability. I think he is one of the best evade and miss counters in the game, because one special attack one is all you need, and then boom, you just counter, evade, and miss permanently. It's some really, really good stuff. There I dropped the SP2 as well, and that was some pretty nice damage output, and we're just hitting so hard at this point because of the node. But yeah, I go back in here, drop my SP2 again, after the relic that is, and look at this damage output. It's going to be a beauty. So there's an on crit, but then here is like 50,000 plus energy damage bursts. And yeah, that was just a very clean fight. For like these cosmic lanes, he is just incredible. But yeah, here we have this Iceman, and you know, another plus to the Serpent, he is a good Iceman counter. And that might seem like a bit odd, right? Because, you know, it's just Iceman. Well, no, that's not the case, because in Battlegrounds, people run like Ascended Iceman, and yeah, that is painful. Like if you don't have like a cold snap immune champion, you are just gonna take so much damage, right? But the Serpent is cold snap immune, so he's just gonna work very, very well for the Iceman. And you know, in Battlegrounds, I don't think he's gonna be like, you know, all that damage wise, but at least he'll be like pretty healthy after the fight ends. But yeah, look at this damage output now. It is just crazy stuff. And here I go in, drop my SP2, 20,000 non-crit, and just some pretty good bursts of damage right there. And this matchup is already over, essentially. Yeah, very fun time. Just a really fun champion to use, and a nice 22,000 medium there. And that was pretty fast as well. Here we have this Rage node, and I want to show this because, you know, he's pretty good at bypassing damage caps and everything. But there is one thing about this node that kind of annoys me, and it's the Rage part, because, you know, the damage cap is fine, right? Like, you know, we can just work around that. But it says this node is immune to any ability accuracy modification. And that's problematic because the Serpent's fear mechanic, where he can block, like he can just bypass Unblockable, right? That is an ability accuracy reduction. So if there is any node that says like it is immune to ability accuracy reduction, his fear debuff just doesn't work. And that's kind of annoying because, you know, it's like super new and all that, and I wish like it didn't have so many counters already, because this mechanic is still super new and it already has like a lot of counters. So that's kind of annoying in my opinion, but it is what it is. The Rage node has always been super annoying because of like everything it does with bypassing, you know, damage caps, or like, yeah, it bypasses damage output that would go over the damage cap, and not just like physical hits, like burst of damage as well. So that's why I'm using the SP1 here, because if I go for the SP2, it'll just get damage capped, which is super annoying. Like the Rage node is just such a bad node in my opinion. But yeah, here I go back in, and this matchup is going pretty well. The damage cap is starting to play into effect big time, but hey, we're still doing pretty good here. I dropped the SP1, and yeah, the cold snap damage is pretty sweet right now. He drops it again, no big deal, and this matchup is essentially over now. So that was pretty clean. The Serpent, just really good for any fights that have like a damage cap on physical hits, because yeah, just use the SP1, get that burst damage up, and you are chilling. Now here we have this Star-Lord fight, and here's the fear debuff being like actually good, because this has no ability accuracy immunity. So check this out, or no, ability accuracy modification immunity, sorry. So yeah, go for the SP1 and the Unblockable just disappears, just like that. Really, really good stuff. And I drop it again, get the fear debuff active once more, and now he is just shot off completely. Like, he just cannot gain Unblockable for the entire fight. And yeah, this is like where it's really, really good stuff, because once you like get the first SP1 off, you can just chain SP1s and he won't get any Unblockable ever. It is such a good ability, like when it works, right? Because like I said, it's pretty easy to counter, and I wish it wasn't so easy to counter because it's still really, really new. But you know what, fair enough, like counters are gonna happen eventually anyway. But yeah, here I go for another SP1, and the fear debuff is back active again, and yeah, we're just chilling, man. He is just countering this completely. It is so satisfying. And by the way, this node has this fight, has a node where like our damage is pretty much gimped big time, because it is a minus 40% base attack for cosmic characters. However, with the fury at the start of the fight plus like class advantage, it kind of offsets a bit. So this is kind of like normal damage, I guess. But yeah, here we go back in, and yeah, the Unblockable just gone completely. So satisfying, just so satisfying. Then I drop one more SP1, and the damage output at this point is just really, really good, and that ends the fight. So overall, really, really nice fight there. And here we have the finale. We have this Eternity of Pain Hercules, and this guy is super annoying, but I want to showcase it because one, it's a long fight, and two, there is Unblockable in this fight, so that should be kind of helpful. And you know what? Make this make sense. It says this character is immune to ability accuracy modification, but then when I drop my SP1, it actually blocks out his Unblockable. You'll see it later on in the fight, but yeah, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because how did the rage node not like get affected, but this guy does? Like, make it make sense. It's super annoying how like the rage node is just like this separate entity, and like it works however it wants to work. But yeah, it is what it is. Here I go back in, get my SP1 active, and the fear debuff just didn't apply because of the concussion, which is pretty annoying. But you're gonna see, like, once we get the fear debuff active at the right time, it's gonna block out the Unblockable, but just not yet. So just wait a bit. Yeah, here I dropped the SP1 again, and yeah, it's doing some okay damage so far, nothing too crazy, but now we're like almost built up completely. Here's the fear debuff up, and yeah, we're pretty much at max ramp now, so every other cold force charge that we gain is going to be a fury passive, so we're kind of chilling. I was about to say fury buff, but no, he doesn't gain those anymore. And like right there, the Unblockable is just gone, just like that. So it's like, okay, so when I use it on the rage node, it doesn't work, but when I use it on a guy with force of will, it does work. Like, what the heck? You know what? It's whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, here I dropped the SP2, and yeah, bad timing on my part. Just terrible timing on my part, but it's fine. We can just recover. We gotta lock in now though. So here I go back in, drop the relic into the SP1, I believe. Do I? Yes, I do. Perfect. So here I drop it. Pretty good damage at this point, like over 6,000 burst damage per hit. Then I drop it again, because why not? And yeah, look at this beauty. It's so satisfying. 12,000 mediums now as well, and I just cannot time the fear debuff right. I'm just like messing up big time, but it's fine. We waited out a bit, go back in. And side note here, the Serpent is very good for this fight because his ability power rate and his combat power rate cannot be reduced by like non-mystic characters. So yeah, he is just crushing this fight. So honestly, one of the better options for it. There I get hit, no big deal. And you know, the Serpent, he's tanky, plus if we do get hit all the way down to 1% health, he does have that death immunity and that regen. So yeah, very, very good stuff there. But I'm just so bad at timing the special attack, it's honestly kind of sad, but hey, it is what it is. Here I drop another SP1, it does some pretty good damage, a nice 10,000 crit there, and we go back in, and here I time it pretty well, I believe. but it doesn't apply because Hercules has the concussion up, which is just super annoying. So yeah, that's not fun, and he goes back to being unblockable yet again. So if you can play Serpent correctly, this fight is pretty easy because there's 0 unblockable, right? But I'm playing him like garbage right now, so I can't relate. However, I go back in now, I drop my SP2, get the unblockable up, and this damage output is very, very nice. So now we're kind of chilling. He drops his SP2, no big deal, and this fight is over, it seems, but then he gets the indestructible again, which is super annoying, which is whatever. And yeah, gotta wait this out again, no big deal. And yeah, this fight was like a total mess, but hey, he got it down, and he is just really good for these long fights. So yeah, that was pretty satisfying. But the Serpent is a really, really good champion, not just on defense, but honestly in longer fights, he's just really, really powerful. So I want to post more gameplay of this character in like longer fights especially, but for now, I'll just leave it at this. Let me know your thoughts on the Serpent, and yeah, that's about it for me.